Welcome back to the channel, folks. This is Jason, certified financial planner and host of Fighting Words Financial. Today, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Blink, the EV charging stock that has gone crazy throughout the year. It's up about 1,700%. It was up yesterday, roughly 15%, and it's back down a little bit today. But I wanted to talk to you about the sort of ridiculously high valuation of Blink. And I did an earlier video on ChargePoint where I really tried to be fair because I know a lot of people are invested in this stock. And I really tried to be neutral, but I really didn't get across all of the concerns that I have with this stock, not just this stock, but everything that's peripherally tied to the EV industry. These charging station stocks, these charging station companies, are not going to participate in the EV revolution like many people think they are. There's already a level of destructive competition out there, and the idea that ChargePoint supposedly controls 70% of the market already, that's for a couple of different reasons. That's absolutely ridiculous. They don't actually control 70% of the market. They don't have, 70% of the charging stations out there aren't theirs. They don't have 70% of those in their network. And there's a couple of different resources where you can look this up and verify this, but Plugshare.com is one of those resources. So, I'm looking at Blink right now, and I'm looking at their run up in stock, and I'm looking at what they're actually making. This is a company that for the last 4 quarters has not met revenue expectations, has not really seen decreasing losses, and they don't really have that much in the way of revenue. So for the past 3 years, they've been losing money. They've been losing money at an increasing rate, and they haven't been meeting revenue expectations. And yet their stock in 1 year has gone from $1.50 a share up to $43 a share. There's nothing fundamental that supports that valuation. Now, I know we see this a lot with EV stocks. You could say that the entire existence of Tesla, that the stock was not supported by the fundamentals of their actual company. But this is a different case, guys. The internet, we really need to talk about the addiction to SPACs here, and the addiction to IPOs, and the addiction to things that are new and things that are peripherally attached to the EV world. While plugs and EV charging stations are not peripherally attached to the EV world, let's take a look at what the actual world of electric vehicles looks like. And I'm actually going to edit in some photos here afterwards, but I'm going to take a look at them and we're going to talk about them right now. So right now I am looking at a graphic of all of the electric vehicle stations located just here in San Diego County. There are 1,024 electrical charging stations located in San Diego. This industry has an enormous amount of coverage here. So essentially 64% of people that live in San Diego can actually charge their vehicle at home. And there's 1,024 charging stations in San Diego. I would say that with an average range of say 220 miles for an electric vehicle, I would say that San Diego County is actually completely covered in terms of locations, and we're just going to need to increase the volume of charging stations at each location in order to handle volume. I don't really think there's going to be that much more need for stations to be added in the future, but I think they're going to anyway, and here's the problem with that. There's no one company that dominates what's going on here. If you look at the networks, I'm going to bring up another graphic here. Look on Plugshare. There are 20 different networks that are represented here in the western part of the United States. 20 different networks. And I've been through the numbers on this. I've widened this out to a national scale. I look at ChargePoint and their claim that they control 70% of the market. Absolutely ridiculous. Blink, on the other hand, their actual control of that market space is minuscule compared to even ChargePoint. But nobody has a commanding lead here. And you're looking at right now in San Diego, Nissan is actually giving away charging for free. If you own a Nissan, you roll up to one of their charging stations, you plug it in, it's free. There are still some vehicles here, Tesla vehicles here, that get to charge for free. There are city governments that are getting involved right now in creating charging stations. We are looking at the utilities are going to get into providing solutions for electrified mobility. This isn't going to stop. So look, you still have some opportunity now. If I take a look at say a city like Houston, and let me bring up that graphic right here. You bring up a city like Houston, which is much larger than San Diego, roughly 4 times the size of it. You have 872 charging stations here in San Diego, and I looked. the statistics for Houston are roughly 70% of people actually have the infrastructure to charge their vehicles at home, which is larger than San Diego, and 872 people roughly covering the sort of inner city area of Houston. The suburbs are not well covered. That's going to happen, but there again, you run into the same problem. There's already 20 different networks. My contention that none of these companies that are providing the infrastructure to create, basically what are plugs and meters, none of these companies are going to be the ones that hit the home run in the EV charging world. It's going to be the company that develops a way or an app to allow you to charge your vehicle across networks as you move across the country, as you relocate from cities, or if you're just driving from one part of the city to the other and there isn't a charging station in the network where you have an app. It's going to be whatever that cross-network app is that ties all these together. That's going to be the eventual winner in this space. It's not Blink. It's not ChargePoint, at least not at this point. ChargePoint does have a little bit of an advantage here because I have signed a couple of agreements, but it's definitely not Blink, folks. I would stay away from this stock right now. I always tell you guys that I don't give buy, sell, or hold recommendations for a particular stock, but I will tell you when now is probably not the time to enter this. I definitely would not enter Blink stock at this point. Like I said, this is an industry that's starting to concern me with all of the attention that's on it, partially for a couple of reasons. Number one, the opportunity I don't think is as great as a lot of people think it is. Also, if you look at what is being charged right now at these charging stations, it's roughly 4 to 5 times what you can charge a vehicle at home for, which means that as competition increases, the price that these charging stations are charging is actually going to decline. Like we actually have, some stations here that are only charging 7 cents per kilowatt, 7 cents per kilowatt above what you can charge at home. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents there. This is what I think. I think you should avoid these stocks for right now because I think that there's going to be a large shakeout in this industry. It's going to be impossible to predict who the winner is, but I think it's going to be based on that sort of network sharing agreement. Whoever can sign the most amount of agreements quickly, and whoever has an app that works seamlessly across networks, that's going to be the winner in this field. It's not going to be any of these companies actually producing the charging stations. I think you're going to see in the future disappointing stock market performance out of these guys. Anyway, just my thoughts. You can tell me how wrong you think I am in the comments below. I look forward to hearing from you.